So welcome, Laila. Thank you very much for joining us. Would you like to explain to your voters why you're running for office?
Yes. So I am 20 years old. I'm very young. I feel as I could bring, a new perspective to, city council, a new younger perspective. I've always been passionate about politics ever since, I've been in school. Um, Ever since I learned what politics was, and I've always wanted to be involved, more involved than just, the voting aspect. I wanted to help my community, and I'm from the suburbs of Chicago, and I know how that's like. And I've been here for 2.5 years as a student, and I really do love the city. I think it has a lot of things that can be worked upon, and I just have a lot of things that I kind of want to see happen, and make better for the upcoming students too, and people who are living here already, obviously. And since it's people to live here after they graduate, just kind of make it just a better community than it already is. So yeah.
Thank you very much. So the first question I have for you is, what do you see as the greatest challenge facing this city? And how do you think the city should address that challenge?
I think the biggest one, just I hear a lot just because I am a student, is housing, and I know that it does affect everyone, not just students. So I think it is a hard battle because we're kind of playing catch up, just because a lot of people were admitted to the school. Makes more people in the city, more saturates the market just because there's so many more people. um People living here have to deal with it, and obviously students have to deal with it. um and I think it is hard to address, but I think the because you can't necessarily set a price for these companies to you can't say, oh, rent, you have to make rent this amount, but there is a lot we can do, is put pressure, approve more projects just to make more options. It's the best we can do. Also, just communicating with the school to make more dorms. I know they just approved a project recently, but always having more dorms, and yeah, approving projects that can be built in the next few years.
Thank you. So I did have another question on safe and affordable housing, and that was, what do you think the city should be doing to increase the housing stock?
Yeah, I think all types of housing, apartments, single family homes, I feel like a lot of them, a lot more can be built in the area. And, like I said, I think to make it a more for people to live after college or new families to move in, you do need to have those homes that do need to be built, because people don't want to live in student apartments when they're obviously when they're trying to have a family. Yeah, so just I think every single type of housing should be considered, not just like apartments, or student complexes to be, built. So
All right. So thank you. Um, so how should the city's water resources be managed in order to support the growing population and industrial base that we have?
yeah, totally. I know there has been a project that is being talked about, or I don't remember exactly.
The
Um,
LEAP
yes,
project.
yes, lead project. I know that would be, in my opinion, would not be good because they're taking water out of the community, through the Wabash River. So, it would be important. I know City Council has, a resolution against that. That they passed in other cities as well. So just putting pressure on, um the the state, just to not have that project be continued with. It would be a really good start, just to not have water taken out of our community, because we need all that we can get, and the Wabash is a very good natural resource that we should take more advantage of. Learn to work with it better. So yeah.
Thank you. Let's move from housing development to economic development. What do you see as the right balance of economic development for the city?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, since I'm kind of in the district where, the little downtown areas in West Lafayette, I think that can be built upon and have more oh my gosh, I cannot think of the word. Like, more shops, more restaurants, areas where people can kind of hang out, walk around, have somewhere to go to kind of spur that economic development in the area. More restaurants can be put in, more walkability in that area can make it a better, facilitator for students and people like living in West Lafayette to come down and kind of explore the downtown area. So I think building that up would be very good for the city. It would just be very, I know downtown areas are very, attracting, like a lot of people they look for that in a community when they're moving. Do they have, like, community that they can kind of come together in an area they can come together. So I think that's very important to, economically develop the cities, kind of have more of like the infrastructure built there.
Thank you so much. And then my final question is, what do you see as the top climate issue facing the city? And what should the city council be doing to address climate?
Yeah, so my philosophy is that anything, doesn't matter how small you are, you can make a change in your community. And I think the biggest issue, I think just honestly anywhere, is the air pollution and polluting the water. That is a huge thing that has been talked about, has been researched and studied, that more carbon dioxide in our air. There's stuff in our water that microplastics that haven't been there before. That obviously more acidic oceans and stuff. So there's a lot that can be done there. And it can be done locally. I mean, not everything is in the jurisdiction of city council. Obviously, not everything, the state has some control as well. But the jurisdiction, like, we should push as much as we can for these climate initiatives, put pressure on our state and the state of Indiana, which in turn will put pressure on the United States. But you need to start local. You need to have someone start that movement, start putting those ideas out there, start saying, we need to step up, we need to do this as a community, we need to have safer water, have cleaner air. So I think even if there's not much we can really do just based on like resolutions and what we can like build, obviously there are things we can do as city council, always have more trees, preserve our forests and stuff, like, or our nature in our area. But just also just putting pressure is the main, I think, thing is, if you have this community putting pressure on the state and kind of building from the ground up, that will be just in turn better for everyone. So yeah.
Thank you. Are there any last words that you would like to leave with your voters?
I am just very grateful to be having, this opportunity as a student, to be able to run and represent people. I think that's kind of like just my life goal, is to help people and, listen to people that might not be comfortable like speaking out or having a voice. So I would be happy to represent people and help as many people as I can in the community. I know I'm well in touch with West Lafayette's upcoming new mayor. And some people on the city council have really expressed interest in working with me and helping my agendas get passed. So I'm really excited to work with them and, get some stuff done in the community. But yeah, I'm just really like grateful that I get to do this and have an opportunity to be able to, represent people.
Thank you so much.